Hey guys, this is Vidi with MaxTech and welcome to my ultimate gaming review of the M1 MacBook Pro. Now, if you're wondering why I'm calling this the ultimate gaming review, well, that's because I'm going all out on the games. As you can see right here, I have a bunch of games loaded up and I'm going to be playing games using 4 different methods. The first one is playing native ARM games for Mac. The second method is playing the older x86 Mac games using Rosetta 2. The third way is playing iOS and iPad games using sideloading, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And finally, the fourth way is playing Windows x86 games using crossover. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, but way back in July, I made a video titled Apple Silicon is bringing AAA gaming to the Mac. Now, when I made that video, I meant that after a year or two, we would finally have AAA gaming, maybe even next year with the expected M1X chip that I made a video about. Definitely check out that video because that's gonna give you much more graphics performance, but I did not mean the very first Apple Silicon Macs are gonna bring AAA gaming. But to everyone's surprise, after only about 3 weeks, people are already playing AAA games on this machine. In fact, a whole community has been created on Reddit, Mac Gaming, of people playing AAA games on the M1 Macs. And a little bit later in this video, I'm gonna be playing Diablo 3, I'm gonna play CSGO, I'm gonna play even Witcher 3 on this M1 MacBook Pro. So as you guys can see, I have an Xbox controller for controller games, and I have an MX Master mouse to play those AAA games. So let's go ahead and see if I was right or I was wrong. All right, the first thing I'm gonna show you is Multicraft. It's one of the few games that's actually been updated for Apple Silicon and it's running natively. So one of the other games is World of Warcraft, but I don't really wanna play that. I don't play that and it's a massive download. By the way, do not buy a 256 gig model of one of these M1 Macs, especially if you're trying to game, because you really can't load up that much games. We have a 512 gig model right here. It also has 16 gigs of memory, but in reality for gaming, you only need the 8 gig model because if you guys watched our Intel XPS versus M1 MacBook Pro video, you'll know that Apple's unified memory is extremely efficient, so 8 gigs on the M1 is pretty similar to 16 gigs on older Intel Macs. But anyway, here we are in Multicraft. It's basically a Minecraft clone. It's running natively for Apple Silicon, and as you guys can see, it's running perfectly smooth, like perfect 60 FPS. Our cameras, by the way, are set to 4K 60. And there you go, I'm using my MX Master mouse, and honestly, I don't play Minecraft, I don't care for it, but here you go, playing perfectly smooth. This game is extremely efficient. We're running with 10% CPU usage, 43% on the GPU. The chip is at 42 degrees Celsius. It's incredibly cool, and as you can see, the fan is off as well, so these Apple Silicon games are gonna run very well. Of course, this is a low-end game. We're gonna get into the higher-end games in just a second. Now, I wanna get out of this game, and I wanna move on to showing you guys some iPhone and iPad games. Now, the way you do that is you go to the App Store, you search for a game, and you have this little section right here, iPhone and iPad apps. And boom, there you go. I'm gonna show you guys Dark Raider. It's just a simple low-end RPG game. Let's open it up. Now what's cool is that you can hit the full screen mode. Bam. Obviously it doesn't cover the entire display because iPads have a more square-ish aspect ratio, but as you can see, I have my controller right here, the Xbox controller, and it's working perfectly fine. The fans are still not running. So it's really awesome to see controller support working on the Mac. It's only been 3 weeks since we got our hands on these, so this is really exciting. Now I want to show you guys some of the apps that I side loaded, and to do that, I downloaded iMazing. So this is a paid app, but you can get a 2-week trial. As you can see, boom, continue trial. Now what you do is you connect your iPad or your iPhone, and after you do that, you go to Manage Apps. It's gonna have you log into your iCloud account, and then you can see all of your apps. Now what you do is you right-click on something, and you click Download to Library. You can see it downloading right over here. There you go, it just finished. You right-click on it, you click Export IPA, and I'm gonna throw it into the Applications folder. Go to Applications, find that game, double click on it, it's installing, boom, there you go. Open it up, and it's playing. Battlelands Royale, we just installed it just like that. That's how easy it is. For a game like this is not optimal because this does not support controllers, and that really sucks, but I am gonna show you guys some controller games here in a second. Ooh, definitely not a good experience like this. Let's go ahead and close that, and let's choose a better game. Here's an RPG game, Grim Valor, that has controller support, as you can see. By the way, guys, thanks for helping us finally reach 500K subs. We appreciate each and every one of you. So here you guys can see, I mean, this is pretty awesome. Controller support's working very well. This is kind of like a side scroller style RPG. Woo! Get out of here. Oh no! Dude! Oh, that's fun. Now, I want to show you guys some more simple games, some more popular games. For example, Clash Royale works perfectly. As you can see, it's this small little window, but I can go full screen. And for this game, you just use the trackpad, just like that. You can just battle. It logs you in using Game Center, which is great. And I'm about to play with the real opponent. Apple did an excellent job with this automatic touch translation feature. This is awesome. So if you want to play simple games like this, I mean, you can. No issues at all playing a game like this. Anyway, I showed you guys Clash Royale. Let's do another one. Let's see. Just like that, it's running. You know what? Let's try multiple. King of Thieves. Let's open that up right here. Multiple games running at the same time. This is kind of funny. All right, look at that. You just switch over. You switch your mouse over and it works so easily. I mean, I'm so impressed. Brawl Stars, let's open that up too. Put it over here. Why not? Brawlhalla. Let's do that one too. Right over here. Playing Clash of Clans. Look at that. What about this? Let's find a match here. Why not? There you go. Oh, boom. All right, I got that. How about let's play Brawl Stars. There you go, searching for players, logged in. How about this game? Look, this game supports controller support. Online play, free for all. Let's go, look at this. Actually, let's go full screen on this. Hey, it looks like it canceled out the audio from the other games, even though they're playing in the background. Dude, I don't want this. Oh, you see that? Get out of here, bro. This is pretty fun, I've gotta admit. All right, anyway, let's exit out of that. There you go, we have our games running. Look at that, CPU using what, 39%, 23%, 44%. The fan is completely off, chilling at 45 degrees Celsius, playing all of these 4 games at the same time. Just like that, you exit out of them. I mean, this is great. Let's spice it up a little bit, playing a FPS shooter game with controller support. Let's go ahead and full screen it. There you go. I mean, this works so well. This is actually a pretty decent game, and it's running perfectly. Whoa, bro. Grunts. I'm impressed how well this works on this MacBook Pro, and you get a nice big display. Full screen mode. Now, I did download Call of Duty Mobile, but unfortunately, as you're gonna see in just a second, I don't think controller support is working just yet. Wait a minute. It's working. Controller support is working. No way. It's working on Call of Duty Mobile. All right, let's do this. Oh my goodness. There you go. And just like that, everything's working. Don't play with your main account if you're gonna try this out, because you can very easily get banned. I don't know why they would ban you, but triple kill, nice. There you guys go, look, the fan is still off. I just played Call of Duty Mobile, no issues, 42 degrees Celsius. Now let's finally move on to the third method of gaming, which is old Intel x86 Mac games. Let's start out with League of Legends. There you go, we have the League of Legends client open. Let's go ahead and hit play and do a blind pick Summoner's Rift. Now what's very interesting is that I just have the client open. We're sitting at 99% GPU usage. All right, we're in game. I'm gonna go ahead and max out the resolution, 2560 by 1600. That's native. And let's go ahead and just max everything out. All right, we got about 89 FPS, 79 FPS. I don't know if you guys can see that up there, the FPS ticker, 88. Is that Yasuo? Okay, that's Yasuo. I'm so dead. Anyway, I mean, 70 FPS right there, 69 FPS. Guys, I maxed out the graphics. Completely maxed out graphics. I mean, this is awesome. This is great. League of Legends running perfectly under Rosetta. You don't even have to wait for it to get updated. I mean, come on. Oh, no! I died again. 72 FPS right there, 74 FPS right there, 81. So obviously this runs incredibly well. It doesn't even need to be updated. No issues at all playing League of Legends. Sorry guys, my team, but I gotta move on. By the way, I just finished League of Legends. The fan is still off. No sweat for League. So here I am in Steam for the Mac. I'm about to play CSGO under Rosetta. Here we are in CSGO. The lobby is running perfectly. Let's play some arms race. Here we are. So far, playing perfectly smooth. No issues at all. Come on, man. I don't know why we have bots in here. Of course, this is a pretty simple and easy game, but the truth is that a lot of people play CSGO. And a lot of people play League of Legends. They're very popular games, and right here on the M1 Max, no issues at all, playing perfectly smooth. Before, you couldn't do this with the base model MacBook Pro. Taking a look at the settings, we're at 1680 by 1050 resolution. Not bad. Just because I'm curious, let's do native. It seems like the FPS counter is not working, but here we are playing at native res, and we are no longer playing at 60 FPS. Maybe 40 FPS is what we're getting right now. It's definitely not as smooth as it was before. This might be playable. I'd probably turn it down a bit, which I will here in a second. How about, I don't know, 1650 by 1050 again. That was pretty decent. Back at the lower res, and I mean, look at this. Everyone runs faster with a knife. Got him. Gotcha. Gotcha. And this is not even native performance. Under Rosetta. Who would have thought, huh? Who would have thought? Anyway, that's CSGO. Let's go ahead and look at our temps. Back to the Finder, we're at 92 degrees Celsius on the CPU. We're at around 1500 RPM on the fan. Not too bad. I mean, the fan really wasn't blowing. It was basically at idle. Now let's get into the next game, Diablo 3, running under Rosetta. And this is definitely a AAA game. Here we are in the menus, everything's working very smooth, and let's get back into the game. Before I show you the crazy performance, check out these graphics options. Native resolution, 2560 by 1600. We're capped to 60 FPS. Shadows are on medium, textures on high, physics high, clutter high, anti-aliasing full screen. There you go. There are the settings. You guys seeing this? Look how smooth that is. I mean, I'm not noticing any issues. This is native resolution under Rosetta. Oh, get out of here, bro. Conjurer of Death. Dude, you're screwed, bro. That was easy. You could not do this with a 13-inch MacBook in the past. Never. Imagine what's gonna happen next year when the M1X 16-inch comes out with potentially double the graphics performance? With this running this well on the M1, I am blown away. I am not noticing any stuttering, any drop frames in this game. Now with that, I want to move on to the most exciting way to play games, the fourth way. This is using Crossover to play Windows games. Now this is a paid app, but you get a free 14-day trial of the full version. So let's move on with this trial. Now, to play games like this, all you do is you click install a Windows application, you type in Steam, you install Steam, and then after that, you install two more things. You install DirectX for modern games, you click that and you do it within the Steam bottle. Make sure to do that, right? After that, you find DXVK, and you install that also within the Steam bottle. And then after you have those installed, you're gonna click over here on the bottles. You're gonna go down to Steam, you right click on it, go to settings, and then enable, just like I did, DXVK backend for D3 Direct 11. Once you enable that, you're good to go. Let's start Steam. And as you guys can see right here, we have the Windows version of Steam running. So if we look through my library, when you click on games that are meant for Windows, you can actually install them. Now, not all of them are gonna play. A couple of games that I tried didn't work, but here I have some games that are gonna work. As you guys can see, I have Team Fortress 2 installed. I have The Witcher 3, which we're gonna test in just a minute because it's totally insane. And finally, I installed a classic, one of my most favorite games from my childhood, Final Fantasy X, bringing back that nostalgia. Let's see if it runs. So here we have the launcher. I never played X2 because I thought it was kind of weird. I play Final Fantasy X, so here I have the resolution. I tried it at a bunch of different ones. For some reason, it doesn't run at higher resolutions. It's kind of weird, but I have the settings set right here. Quality on low, unfortunately. That's the only way I got it to run. Let's test it out. All right, here we are, guys. Final Fantasy X. I had to mess with the settings to get it to run. Here we are in full screen. You can hear this nostalgic music. And for some reason, the FPS that the Steam counter is showing us is really bad. 7 FPS, but it's working. Let's test this out. Do I use space? Whoa. Oh, can I get it? Can I get it? Boom! There we go. Oh, look at that, 18 FPS. So it's not the best quality. For some reason, the resolution isn't that great in this game, but we are playing. This right here is probably the worst part of the game. Oh, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible part of the game. I mean, hey, it's playable. We're playing, not the best FPS, not super smooth. Now, since the FPS we're getting is not that great, let's go ahead and test out a different game within Crossover. All right, that was weird. It just crashed and restarted. I'm not sure why that happened. I just closed down Final Fantasy. So there is definitely more optimizations to be done within Crossover and with the whole gaming and emulating in general, but it restarted pretty quickly there. All right, we're back into Steam, and now let's try out Team Fortress 2. Here in the lobby, it says we're getting over 100 FPS. We'll see how that changes as we actually start playing. All right, here we are, and it feels decently smooth so far. 52, 37 FPS, just dropped 31. So you don't get that good of performance, it seems like, in Crossover so far. 54, 75, that's a little better. But I am having some weird drop frames every now and then. Yeah, this is a little bit weird. Well, I was able to kill that guy. Definitely drop frames going on. Looks like we just hit 100 FPS. Doesn't make sense. We are dropping down quite low every now and then. Get out of here, bro. There you go. 31 FPS, definitely drops. Not a very good gaming experience. What's up, bro? It seems like when I'm not fighting someone, it's decent, but as soon as I see someone, it gets really bad really quick. So there you go, we're playing TFT. The graphics quality isn't that good either. We're sitting at 1440 by 900 resolution, and the quality's, a lot of it is set to low. So I don't know what's going on. It's probably because it's not that modern of a game. It's using DirectX 9. All right, Witcher 3 right here. This is definitely a AAA title. Let's run it using Crossover. Let's see the performance that we get. Here we are, Witcher 3. Unfortunately, the FPS counter is not working, but we're gonna go ahead and continue. All right, here we are in Witcher 3, guys. Look at that, this is definitely much more smooth. I am getting some frame drops. Decent performance. Playing Witcher 3, this is a AAA title. We're playing this with decent performance using Crossover. Yeah, that's impressive. So it seems like when you're using crossover, the more modern games like this run much better than games like Final Fantasy and Team Fortress 2 that are very, very old games. Guys, I was running that at native resolution, 2560 by 1600. I turned off and turned down a bunch of the other settings, but native resolution playing that. Let's turn it down a little bit to see if we get better performance. Let's do 1650 by 1050. All right, there you go. I think it's definitely more smooth. Definitely feels more smooth. Who would have thought that Apple's very first Apple Silicon Mac, the M1 chip, would be able to play games like Witcher 3? All right, let's test out the battle performance with these creepy dudes. Oh crap, these guys are strong. Unfortunately, I don't know how to play this game. Am I gonna die here? Oh yeah, I'm so dead. Anyway, I mean, it was performing well. We're not really getting any stuttering. We're not getting any performance issues. Playing Witcher 3, just because I'm curious, I'm gonna check out the performance. We're at 92 degrees Celsius, 4,000 RPMs on the fans. There you go. If I get close, I can definitely hear them. That's what it took, 100% GPU load, 35% CPU load to get it hot playing Witcher 3. After playing all of those games, the iPhone games, the iPad games, Call of Duty Mobile using the controller, really nice controller support, playing under Rosetta, League of Legends perfectly smooth, Diablo 3 perfectly smooth, CSGO decent performance, even crossover playing old nostalgic games like Final Fantasy, playing Witcher 3 with really impressive performance. I have to say that Apple Silicon, the M1 chip, is the best thing that has happened to the Mac in terms of gaming. This is a gaming revolution. It's only been 3 weeks. We're already seeing developers updating their games for native Apple Silicon support. And without that, we're getting really good performance under Rosetta, which nobody was expecting. This is shocking that a laptop like this, the 13-inch, is getting good performance like this in gaming. So to answer the original question, is the M1 MacBook Pro good for gaming? I have to say yes. This is performance on par with the best 16-inch MacBook Pro. And when we see next year's M1X chip, that is just gonna be on a whole nother level, and it's gonna take gaming on the Mac to a higher level. It's just gonna be so impressive. And even this is super impressive. And the last thing I want to mention is that it's only been 3 weeks and developers are already working on getting native support. Developers are working to get crossover updated to support more games. Rosetta's being upgraded as well. So with all that said, I have to say that I couldn't be happier with the M1 MacBook Pro for gaming. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this ultimate gaming review, and if you did, go ahead and click the circle above to subscribe because we're trying to reach 650K subscribers before the end of March, so please help us with that. Definitely check out a couple of those videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.